Hi there, everyone. I just thought I'd make this little update video. So, at the time of recording, it is December 18th. So, part of why I wanted to record this video is because I wanted to say happy holidays and stuff. Um, so yeah, happy holidays, you guys. Um, I just sort of wanted to also update you on what I've been doing lately, especially because I did those two little videos talking about Steam Next Fest. And I just sort of want to let you guys know what's going on with Submerged Lights, the project that I'm currently working on, and what am I planning on doing like in the new year? Like, what's the next project that I plan on sort of tackling? Stuff like that. So, stuff relating to Submerged Lights is going good. I actually did a bunch of the Steam store page stuff, and I have submitted it successfully to the next fest, which is nice. Of course, as some of you may not know, or some of you may know, the next fest is going to be taking place until early March, which means that in order to participate, Submerged Lights is going to be released after next fest. So the earliest that it can be released is sometime in like early to mid, maybe late March kind of thing. But yeah, I like all the capsules that I did. For those of you who don't know, when you do when you release a game on Steam, there are a bunch of things called capsules. They're basically just your advertisements, like just images associated with marketing your game and that are used on the store page, that are used when you're like looking through your collection of games that you have acquired. It has like a miniature version of your logo. When you click on your library, like when you click on the game that you have in your library, and it takes you to like that big page where it's like, oh, are you gonna play the game? Are you gonna install it? You get to like choose the header and stuff like that. So I think that those look good. I think that they look attractive. Um, I finally was able to figure out Steam Pipe to like upload a build of my demo, which was my least favorite part because it's so technical. Thing is, with with other aspects of Steam, um, I can kind of just how do I put it? The thing with Steam Pipe and actually uploading like a build of your game and like they have this weird system where it's like, oh, is it a branch? Is it a depot? Is it a build? And you associate a depot with your game, and then you're like, okay, when people click the launch button, it runs the executable file that I uploaded, and like the thing is with that stuff, that's all obviously very important. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. But like, it's just so technical, and it's always done like last. So like, I just feel like I have way less experience with it because like I've only released this is my third game that I'm uploading onto Steam and stuff. So I've done this like twice before, and each time just sort of feels like me fumbling around until it gets done. I don't feel like it's as like approachable or understandable as like I can understand a store page. A store page is like make a compelling advertisement, make a compelling description. You know, oh, please tell us what audiences should play the game. Like, do you have inappropriate content in there? Stuff like that. And that makes sense to me. But this Steam pipe stuff is just so specific and technical, and it's literally just like it reminds me of like the difference between like a store how do you put it? Like the ground floor of like an actual physical store where the customers are supposed to be, where it like makes a certain amount of sense. It's like laid out in a way that's like meant for the everyman to be able to navigate and for the everyman to be able to pick something up and to just generally understand what's going on versus like instead of the ground floor, the stuff relating to steam pipe is sort of like the back rooms, if that's the right term, where it's like nothing's like really polished. There's like kind of boxes everywhere. It's not intuitive. It's literally just for function. But anyway, um, so I've been doing the Steam stuff and it's been going good. I have a build successfully like of the demo tied to the demo, and I have that submitted, so it's going to be participating successfully in the uh, Steam Next Fest. So that's one thing. Another thing I want to say is that before I was talking with you guys about, oh, maybe I have enough time to do a demo of another game, and then I could kind of have them released at the same time. But realistically, that just sort of turned into like, look, the holidays are busy. We've got birthdays, we've got Christmas, we've got like vacation stuff going on. And I just wanted to make sure that I did one thing well, like submit one demo well, especially because I've never done this before and I don't want to rush anything. And I mean, it's like that saying, a bird in a hand is worth two in the bush, sort of thing. Only that saying's a bit off because, frankly, a bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush because actually you have one, right? Like I'd rather have like one well done thing than two kind of half-assed things that don't quite work, you know? So I was just prioritizing having a good quality thing. Uh, and now I have that sorted out, and I'm going to be working on like art assets for submerged lights. Um, yeah, and I have a few more art assets to do for submerged lights than what I had said before, because I got inspired to like rewrite the ending of submerged lights, and also with me not doing this other demo, kind of cramming that other demo in here, I just have more time to be like, I had like kind of a slimmed down version of my art assets to do checklist for submerged lights because I was like, okay, I need to just be efficient, be efficient, be efficient. But if I'm just sort of letting myself breathe a little bit more, then it's like, well, there are some CGs that really would be good to have in there, and I'd like to take time to do that. Another thing I want to talk about a little bit is uh, for a few videos now, I've experimented with doing those like art camp videos where basically I do kind of a Bob Ross thing and chill out with you, chatting with you while I do artwork. And I just wanted to tell you guys how I feel about that idea going forward. So, there are a few things here to unpack. So, first of all, the videos are very long, and like I know I'm a small channel and my videos don't usually get that many views, but I feel like if I'm releasing like 5 hour videos, those would just naturally be unattractive to most people. So, and then it's like, okay, well, if people aren't watching, uh, another point is, um, how should I put it? When I would be doing those videos, I would obviously be talking about what's on my mind, like I'm doing right now. But that would naturally be like, okay, so I've already talked about this. Do I need to make like a shorter, condensed version of what I'm talking about? If I do, then I'm just sort of uploading the same thing twice. So that's sort of silly. And if I don't upload the same thing twice, then it's like, oh yeah, I talked about this somewhere in this 5 hour video, find it. And it's like, that doesn't really seem fair either. And at the same time, it's like, well, like, I mean, I guess I could talk about the same thing twice, but I don't know. It doesn't really feel necessary. If I have something important to say, I should just like make a little video saying it that's like fairly concise, right? Another thing is that going forward, here's just a practical little thing about the back end of visual novel development. It really does make a lot of sense if you're doing sprites to draw the characters naked first, and that way you can change their outfits like a doll more easily. And that way your anatomy is all correct because you've done them naked first, under their clothes, and then you draw the clothes on top. So what I'm getting at here is, while I don't usually mind like drawing characters naked for like hours, obviously I don't really expect YouTube to be okay with that, especially because the way that it would work is that like it's like, okay, this isn't like a sketch. Like the way that I draw characters naked, as you may or may not know, is that I don't draw the nipples or genitalia, but like apparently, um, even if I don't, that sort of stuff is still considered not safe for work in some places by some people, which I understand. Um, but yeah, if I'm going to be drawing them naked, I don't really see why I would like record that and put it onto YouTube, sort of thing. And it's like, well, I could upload like after they've already been drawn naked, and then I'm like drawing the clothes on top. But at that point, it's not really like me showing you the full process. Um, and yeah, so it needs to be detailed enough that it's like, okay, literally I can like remove as many of these articles of clothing as I like because if I couldn't remove the clothing, there wouldn't be a point in having them naked underneath. Like, for example, I need to be able to have a character wearing a long sleeve shirt, and then I would need to be able to be like, okay, I'll just change the clothes. Now she's wearing a tank top, right? So that entire section of like arm needs to be fully rendered. It needs to have the correct coloring, the correct shading, all of that stuff. Otherwise, there's no point. If it wasn't fully done, then it would just be exposing a sketch layer. So, yeah, you know what I mean, I think. Um, Another thing is, if I would be uploading videos of me drawing CGs, that might be okay for a little bit. But obviously, a lot of the time, CGs in visual novels are depicting very specific plot points, so it could easily be a spoiler. Like, I could only maybe do that a handful of times, and then I'd be touching on spoiler territory, right? So, in practice, I don't really see myself doing that either. And also, personally, I feel like it's sort of just like backgrounds are kind of the most boring part. Every once in a while, don't get me wrong, there are some backgrounds that I really like, but I don't really see a bunch of people tuning in to like watch me draw a background. Then again, I mean, Bob Ross drew backgrounds, and I was just talking about him earlier in this video. But obviously, I'm much more engaged when I'm watching people draw people. So I don't really want to upload videos where it just sort of feels like, yeah, I'm just getting through it. So in practice, for all those reasons combined, I don't really see myself doing videos where I'm going on an art trip with you guys and sort of chatting. Also, I do think that, like, as I touched upon in one of the 5 hour videos, I don't really like how loose-lipped I can be. Like, I don't necessarily regret the stuff that I was saying in those videos, but in practice, I want to be someone who's like deliberate with, it's like, okay, I'm saying this because I'm actually choosing to and with intent, right? I don't want to just say whatever comes off the top of my head for hours. I feel like that's sort of a foolish idea. Um, that said, in the future, at some point, if I were to find some other way to chat with you guys for hours, I do think it would be cool for me to build up a skill where it's like part of why I was just sort of saying whatever was coming off the top of my head is because I was feeling like some kind of anxiety from inside me, which has like nothing to do necessarily with the kind of content or with you guys putting any pressure on me or anything like that. Literally just me struggling with anxiety and feeling the need to like fill the air. And I feel like it would be cool to develop a skill where, like, I just don't feel that way. Like, if I want, I can go quiet. If I want, I can take time to think about what I'm going to be saying. Stuff like that. And maybe I would, like, edit around it. But yeah, I don't really see myself making videos like that in the future. Setting that aside, just because I don't really see, because I make visual novels. And I don't really see how else I would chat with you guys for hours unless I was like uploading my artwork, like sharing my art process with you guys. But I don't really see myself sharing my art process with you guys because of the reasons that I already talked about. So I don't know. I don't think that'll really happen going forward. And it's sort of interesting because it's not really like I dislike the idea per se. It's just I don't really see it working, if you see what I mean. So now I would like to talk with you guys about what I'm planning on doing for the next project. So I kind of want to keep things vague just because there's such a thing as like sharing stuff with you guys too early before I have it fully sorted out in my own head and then I kind of flip-flop. But basically, I'm wanting to write and make another 20,000 word project, at least one, maybe two, and then maybe even they would get like kind of released alongside um Submerged Lights, and that would be cool. Um and the way that I'm thinking about it is like I was saying earlier in this video, I don't like the idea of just shoehorning stuff in. Um like I like the idea of a bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush sort of thing. So I don't want to just rush things to get them out for the sake of getting them out. But at the same time, I'm kind of excited to try some new things. Like, I've been thinking for a little bit that, like, I could try a basic schedule where it's like, I'm not biting off too much, like, more than I can chew in terms of, like, art or music or writing. But realistically speaking, maybe I'd be able to make one of these like bite-sized 20,000 word visual novels in a pretty short period of time, and then I could just make another one, and then like after I make both, that is to say on the production side, not that they'd be released, but like I'd finish the production of one more or less, finish the production of a second one more or less, and then I'd have some time to like polish them both, make them look good, make sure that it's edited properly, stuff like that. And then I could upload them. And realistically speaking, I feel like I like those cute, cozy kind of cabin games where the main character is just in a secluded spot with a love interest. And I like that sort of stuff, and that's sort of what I'm thinking of making in the immediate future. I probably wouldn't do that all the time, but I do like that sort of genre, I guess you could call it. And realistically speaking, that sort of work doesn't require that many backgrounds or character sprites or whatever, right? So realistically, I think that I could just make like a game with maybe 15 to 20 pictures, um, 20,000 words, maybe like 10 songs, 8 to 10 songs sort of thing. Uh, and just sort of release two of those. And realistically, I think I know I keep saying realistically, but like January, February, uh, March, like January, February, March. Submerged Lights is going to be released sometime in March. I mean, if I release Submerged Lights in like late March, I could even like release potentially all of these three games like in the same burst, and that would be kind of fun to see how people like that. Um, like I guess that was just me sort of revealing the time frame that I have in mind, but like realistically, again, realistically, right? I don't know, doing like 8 pieces of simple music. Like I'm fairly happy with the music that I make, but it's not like they're super complicated compositions, and there's nothing wrong with that. Doing like 8 simple songs, doing like 15, maybe like slightly more pieces of artwork, and writing 20,000 words, like I feel like that's doable in like 20 days. I could just be like, oh, today I'll do like 1,000 words in a song, or today I'll do like 2,000 words in a song, or today I'll do 1,000 words in one of the pictures. And I feel like that's simple enough. Realistically, I think I could do that for like one project, then for another project, and then have like a month for wrapping up, and then I could maybe even release it alongside Submerged Lights. So, just sort of sharing my process with you guys. Like I say, I don't really know what the future holds or anything, and I'm a little cautious to share stuff like this with you guys because it is kind of early, and I don't quite know how I personally feel about it, so I don't like I know even less what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So I don't want you guys to be like, "Oh boy, I'm looking forward to it," and then I flip flop. But at the same time, it is sort of nice having you like brainstorming with you guys a little bit, just sort of telling you what's on my mind. This shouldn't be taken as like absolute truth or gospel or uh like actually necessarily what's going to happen in the future. But yeah, um, I'm just gonna think if I have anything else to say. But realistically, I think I think that's all I really have to say. Um, so again, happy holidays, you guys. Um, please take care and thanks for listening. I appreciate that you guys are interested in this sort of stuff. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in 2026, hey? No real reason for me to upload another video before that. Yeah. Thank you guys for again, I don't really connect with my viewers that much. So, you know, and I'm kind of socially awkward and stuff, but you know, since this is like the end of the year, I guess I just want to say, you know, thanks for being here, and I appreciate knowing that I have some folk out there who appreciate even just a little bit like what I'm doing, and even just find this sort of content interesting. And yeah, um, one of the games I'm going to be working on next year is going to be the visual novel focusing on Sefisru, the mermaid, and that's going to be fun. And probably the other one might end up being uh, the visual novel focusing on Zuinta, the princess of the Bee Fae, and that would be nice too. And yeah, I thank you guys, and see you next year. Happy holidays and take care.